Good
Okay,
evening.
good evening.
We are here um, with our friend at Royal Caribbean, Marissa Crescenzi, and tonight our We Will Travel Again event is featuring a departure of the Anthem of the Seas from Bayonne, Cape Liberty, New Jersey, down to the Bahamas. It's a regular trip that goes throughout the spring from February to April. It's a 7-night trip. And we are highlighting it as a close to home cruise for those of you who are in the tri-state New York metro area. So I want to thank Marissa for being part of tonight's presentation. She's going to share with us some great information about the ship and about our highlighted destination, CocoCay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island paradise. So we'll be talking about that, and we'll see all sorts of great stuff in tonight's presentation. If you can advance the slide for me, Marissa. The only other thing I want to mention is that this is a series of presentations. They tend to be on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. And you can see a full list of our scheduled events at We Will Travel Again events. You can see the web address right there on your screen. We're touching off on a lot of different destinations, lots of different ways to travel. The next presentation will be about Hawaii. So if you're interested in that as your next destination, join us next week and you can register there at that website. So without further ado, I do want to introduce Marissa and have her take over the presentation. Thanks for being here tonight, Marissa. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me this evening. I am so excited to share a little bit about Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas. As you had mentioned, it's our home port, Bayonne, New Jersey, winter ship. Has been for many years, and in the foreseeable future, it's probably going to remain here as well. So that usually comes in November and stays through April. In May is when we start our spring season. So Anthem of the Seas is part of our Quantum class of ships. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Royal Caribbean has different classes, and all of those ships within a certain class have very similar features on board, the same size. So Quantum class is actually one of our larger classes of ships. As you can see here, the length and the tonnage and stuff, there are 5 Quantum class ships, but this evening we're going to focus on Anthem of the Seas just because it is so close to home. We call it New York just because it's more recognizable, but for all of us who are from the area, we understand Cape Liberty is in Bayonne, New Jersey, which is just such an easy location for us to get to. So on Anthem of the Seas, there are tons of activities on board, which, Christy and I were talking about earlier. It is so important to have a lot to do on the ship because when you're doing a Caribbean cruise from the Northeast, it takes a little while to get down to your destination. So for all that time at sea, you want to have a plethora of options to really enhance your vacation experience. Rather than sitting on an airplane and going through the airport and security and all of that stress to get to your destination, why not step on a ship, grab a drink, and start your vacation right then and there? So on Anthem of the Seas, Quantum class as well, we have the BIONIC bar, which I'll get into, the SEAPLEX, which is really awesome, as you can see with the bumper cars. I'll talk about the North Star, the Promenade, and our RIPCORD by iFly. So the North Star specifically is pretty iconic. It is this glass bubble that you can see here, which is attached to this arm that rises all the way above the ship, and it brings you up close and personal to all of the things around the ship overseas. So pretty awesome complimentary experience that you can enjoy with friends and family. Now, this is something that I don't think you'd ever think you'd see on a ship, RIPCORD by iFly. So this is a simulated skydiving experience. Again, it's complimentary. I personally went on Anthem of the Seas over New Year's with my husband, and I have 2 very young children, so they came along as well. And my 3-year-old she's our little daredevil, actually went on the iFly as well, which is really cool. So the minimum age to go on is 3, and don't worry, there was an instructor in there with her. There was an instructor in there with all of us. We went one at a time. And it was just really awesome because,
It is.
you know, it's not.
It's so much fun, and it's such an
Yeah.
unexpected treat. Ripcord opened an iFly in Paramus, New Jersey, a couple of years ago, and it cost a small fortune to go. The fact that you can enjoy it on this ship complimentary, all you have to do is sign up to get a time slot, gives you this opportunity to have this fantastic experience that most people never take the time or excuse to do, jumping out of a plane, but you can do it here in the greatest of safety. So it's really a treat.
Yep, I think that's a great point. You know, you might think like, all right, it opened in Paramus, you know, it's going to be our big Saturday night highlight or Saturday afternoon highlight. But here it's like, yeah, why not? I'm just going to go and sign up. And it's just one of the many activities that we offer on our quantum class ship. So here is the SEAPLEX. SEAPLEX is a really cool venue. As you can see, indoor roller skating. You can bring your own roller skates if you really are that professional. Otherwise, we have some for you to borrow, as well as helmets and even the little, I almost want to call them like walkers. But for example, my 3-year-old who's never skated before, she was holding on to one of the walkers. They have them for adults as well, don't you worry. And this venue is also used for bumper cars. There's different things upstairs, such as table tennis, video game area, like an Xbox lounge. And then I was just telling you that I went on over New Year's, and we used this venue for a variety of different experiences, but there was a 9 p.m. balloon drop for, you know, the young ones who could not make it till 12 p.m. It was really cool, Christy. So they had this huge net across the top filled with balloons. And where it says that screen that says SEAPLEX up here, there was, you know, the countdown, the balloons dropped everywhere. We all screamed Happy New Year. So it was the perfect place, and they had a little music and dancing afterwards. There's also, depending on which sailing you're on, circus school in this venue. So it is a really fun experience here in the SEAPLEX.
It is. There's always something going on down there. It's a lot of fun.
Yes. So here is the promenade, which I take as the hub of the ship. You know, it has all of your shopping, different kinds of restaurants and bars are located here. Up in the top right of the screen, you can kind of see a small image of the BIONIC bar. Down in the bottom left, you'll see Sorrento's, our complimentary famous pizza that's open until 2 a.m., complimentary. Like I mentioned, high-end shopping, even much affordable shopping, your guest services. Whenever the captain makes like a big address, it's here in the promenade as well. And sometimes they'll just be like random parties. You know, you'll see on your cruise compass that you receive every day in your stateroom of all the activities. And it might say at 9 p.m., there's a 70s party in the promenade. Like, why not check that out? So it's also a great place to just walk from front to back to front. You'll always be passing through the promenade. Here's a great picture of the BIONIC bar. So this is relatively, I wouldn't say new, but we're adding it to almost all of our ships. So it's these really cool robotic arms that move to make your drink. There's even, as you can see on that mirror over there, they time how long you make the drink. They offer special concoctions that you can see kind of on the left mirror. It's really hard to see, but they'll show you different specialty drinks. Just a cool place to hang out as well, even if you're not a drinker.
I've actually ordered a non-alcoholic, like a Shirley Temple, just to watch them work. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It is really cool. Definitely a different experience than going to the bartender saying, "What? I can't hear you." And when you order a Jack and Coke, you get, I don't know, a vodka and Sprite. So this one will most certainly make the correct drink for you. I did want to bring to your attention that we have an escape room on certain ships, and most certainly on Anthem of the Seas. It is a complimentary experience. So really fun for small groups, another couple wanting to meet some other people. I think there was a minimum participants of 6 people, so a family can go and sign up. You have to go, I think it's on the first day, you just go and sign up on what time slot you want to do that. And you work together as a team. If none of you have experience in escape room, you know, from your hometown, why not do it on the ship? Like I said, just like the RIPCORD by iFly, it's just another cool experience that you probably have wanted to do for some time, but just never coordinated, you know, the Saturday night to do it. Well, here you go. Perfect opportunity.
There really is something fun to do every day, something different and unique to do every day.
Absolutely. So talking about some of our entertainment and nightlife now, we have a lot of different venues depending on, you know, what you want to do that evening. You have different choices. So one of our really cool shows, which is unique to Royal Caribbean, because we have a lot of unique productions, is SPECTRAS CABARET, which is the show is home to Anthem of the Seas, and this is located in one of our lounges called 270, which in of itself is a really cool lounge. It's sort of like amphitheater style seating. There's a bunch of cocktail tables in your little bay of couches or booths. I've also been in this venue for the younger kids dance party, like earlier, probably I think it was like maybe 6 to 8 before the evening shows start. So of course there's bars in this location as well. And this is all the way at the front of the ship. Or wait, it's all the way at the back. Now I'm confusing myself. Thank you. Because I know there's huge windows where you look out over the ocean. It's all the way at the back of the ship. All the way at the front of our ship is our solarium, which is our covered adult area only, pools and hot tubs.
Another beautiful space on the ship. Yeah.
Yeah. So we also have, of course, our main theater, which there are some staple shows. For example, Broadway show on Anthem of the Seas, We Will Rock You. You know, a 2-hour show, and it is so engaging, so much high energy, that my family of 4 went, and my 2 kids, 3 and 18 months, sat through it no problem. Now, given we did get popcorn at intermission, because who doesn't love popcorn, but I'm just telling you that, you know, it's fun for all ages.
And again, it's complimentary. You could do this at home and it would be a whole big expensive night out. And here it is, just something you can do while you're already on board your wonderful cruise vacation.
Yeah. Here's just a different view of 270, which I talked about previously with the cabaret show. So 270 is a unique venue, and you can see how are those people up there on screen. Well, those screens are robotic in that they move left and right, they turn sideways, and there's shows where even the images will fall into one another. And I'm not describing it well, but the best way I can describe it is there's this one show where someone is like very artistically dancing within one of those screens. You know, the screen is representing a box, and when the screen turns, she kind of falls into the next screen. You just have to go and experience it for yourself. It's absolutely unique. Incredible.
I don't know if anybody could describe it well. It's so unusual.
No, I'm sure on our YouTube channel, there's some better images to help portray what we're trying to explain. And even those stages also move. So there's people that will come out and have acrobatic performances.
Yes, the ceiling and all that.
Lots and lots of entertainment on board Royal Caribbean. So another great venue, this is Music Hall. Music Hall is a very large venue. There's an upstairs and a downstairs. We do a lot of fun live music shows, game shows as well, such as Name That Tune. You'll find a lot of evenings where karaoke is on the cruise compass. So that's always a very popular evening. I do not sing karaoke by any means, but I love to watch karaoke.
People watching it.
So much fun. And you know, people were singing karaoke, and my girls were just dancing on the dance floor. It was a blast. We made sure that we saw karaoke at least 3 times during our 7-night cruise. And like, as I mentioned, the upstairs has high top bar table. So it's a very loungy kind of experience, but obviously very music focused.
Right.
And then, of course, who doesn't like, well, I shouldn't say who doesn't, some people don't, but we do have casinos on board all of our ships, which is a very popular place to hang out for those who like to indulge and put a little risk out there. I did want to talk just very quickly about some of our accommodations. We have a variety of different suites. We have staterooms with ocean view balconies. And then the bottom right with the woman in the orange dress, I wanted to focus on that just for a moment because this is a very unique stateroom. So it's called a virtual balcony stateroom. Instead of your traditional interior room, you have this large window. It's not exactly a window, but it has curtains, and it's just a screen which you can turn on and off. It's live footage of whatever you're seeing outside. So clearly they're out to sea that day because that's the live footage. It also has audio that you can turn on and off, and it is just a different way of cruising without necessarily being on a balcony, but you have that vision of what's going on outside. So if they were in port, you would see exactly what was outside at that time. It's also very helpful if you have somebody who has trouble waking up and you don't want to turn on all the lights to shock them. You just turn on the virtual balcony and it's soft lighting to wake them up. I did that with my husband.
I've had clients who traveling with small children, and even though they want a balcony, they're a little reticent about a balcony. Is that a good idea with little kids? If in this space, not only is it economical because it's an inside cabin, but they still have that vibe about there being a balcony in their room without any of the worry that they might have previously had with it. So it's really fun to have it.
That's a great point. And you know what? I am so sorry. Before I started, I should have mentioned to everyone that if you have any questions or comments as Christy and I are speaking, please enter them into the question box. And we will review all of the questions towards the end of the presentation and hopefully be able to answer all of them in a timely manner. So, don't wait till the end. If you have a question that pops in your mind, put it into the question box up to the right-hand side, and we'll address those towards the end. So the last thing we wanted to talk about, Anthem of the Seas, is not only do you have a variety of complimentary restaurant experiences for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacking, because you could just eat the day away on a cruise if you choose. But there's also different specialty restaurants if you want to enhance your dining experience. So whether you're in the mood for, that Johnny Rockets specialty burger with milkshake, or perhaps you want steak at Chops Grill, or you're just really craving some sushi or hibachi at Izumi, you have all these different restaurants for whatever you're craving that evening. And I did want to mention, as you can see highlighted in pink, a restaurant called Wonderland, which I can't even describe, but think channel your Alice in Wonderland, and you will just go on this mystical experience that can only be described by experiencing it yourself.
It's true. It's true. It is very unusual. I like the other thing too, on all the ships, outside of all the restaurants, you can see the menus posted for the next day. So if it's something that you're kind of debating about, what's available tonight at Chops Grill on the specialty menu, or what's being featured, you can always see whether it's a daily thing or just the regular menu outside of the restaurant. So you can really browse around, you can talk to people, and you can kind of pick and choose very strategically, for lunch even. Lunches are nice too to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And usually a little bit more affordable.
Yes. I'm partial to Jamie's Italian. I've been watching Jamie Oliver on TV for years, and I went with my daughter. She was about 6 or 7 at the time, and we ate like kings, and it was fantastic.
Well, I would definitely say that the charcuterie board at Jamie Oliver's is unbelievable.
Yes.
I mean, it's definitely picture worthy. Even if you're not that cliche person who takes pictures of all of their food, you have to do it when you get this charcuterie board.
It's funny that, you know, they take such time and care and attention to prepare your food. I don't get to go out very often to dinner in, you know, my normal workaday life. And to have just a week filled with presentation and care being put into a meal, no matter whether I'm eating in the regular dining room or if I go to a Zoomie for dinner, it's such a treat to be waited on and have these wonderful experiences and these wonderful foods just feasting before you. It's delightful.
Yeah, absolutely. Did I mention that Sorrento's Pizza in the Promenade complimentary is open till 2 a.m.?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay. Because when we were on Anthem of the Seas, my 3-year-old, that was like the big thing. We had to have pizza before bed. Like that was her special late night snack. I'm like, how'd you know what a late night snack is? Like you're 3. that was
We
that
had
was just her
cookies
thing.
right next door. It's funny. It's like they gravitate
Okay.
to the things they're not supposed to, right? Especially at midnight. But yes.
So I hope you all had a fun time experiencing virtually a little bit of what Anthem has to offer. There's a lot, which is great. And, you know, we briefly talked about the solarium, and, you know, I'll talk about that just a little bit more. So the solarium, as I mentioned, is this adults only, all the way in front of the ship, gorgeous pool area with different pools, bunch of different hot tubs. There's a bar in there. It's all glass covered. You know, all of our Quantum class ships are typically designed for the cooler climate, which is why the solarium is so spectacular. So you'll find a lot of Quantum class ships, you know, up here in Bayonne during the winter time. We have 2 in Alaska for next year. And then we also have 1 in China and 1 in Europe. So to have that, you know, everyone wants to, not everyone, a lot of people want to relax in, you know, beach wear, I guess you can say, or by the pool or just lounge with a drink or something. And the solarium is great. There's also a bistro in there that's complimentary. So really fun, also furniture with day beds and stuff in the solarium.
It's a quieter experience than the main pool. So it's a great place to kind of be a retreat, which is nice.
Yeah. So adults only 16 and over is what's considered the adults. However, the bistro is open for all ages. Some people have the misconception that depending on what ship you're on, it's either the bistro or the cafe, is adults only as well, but the restaurant is complimentary for all ages. And I actually took my kids there for breakfast because it's much smaller area for breakfast rather than go to upstairs at the buffet where I would be hesitant to leave my kids at the table to run across the way to get milk. You know, in a smaller venue like that, it was so much easier for me to still see the table and go get the milk, you know, 6 feet away. Okay, so that's Anthem. And now we're going to talk about Perfect Day at CocoCay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island that was recently, you know, we've had CocoCay as our private island for a very long time. And if any of you have sailed with us in the past, perhaps you've gone to CocoCay and you would chalk it up as a wonderful beach day. Well, Perfect Day at CocoCay is so much more. I mean, you can quickly see on this map all of these colorful and fun things. So we completely revamped and opened it last May 2019. I'm going to go into it just a little bit more, but as a reminder, on Anthem of the Seas out of Bayonne, it's a 7-night itinerary. The highlight being the stop at Perfect Day at CocoCay, which for those of you who don't know is in the Bahamas, very close to Nassau. So actually on this previous screen here, I want to point out, you can see our ship is docked. That's right. We have built this incredible pier to allow the ship to dock so we don't have to tender, which I think is a huge selling point at some of your other experiences in islands that you've gone to. Or have been looking at. You would have to get off the ship, go onto a smaller boat, and then tender into the island and do the same experience to get back. Not only do you have the benefit of just walking out around the pier at your own leisure, but that means you can go on and off the ship if you need to. You know, like for whatever reason, you know, you forgot something super important, you got to run back to the ship. Like, what a quicker experience.
Right. Or you've
as
had
well.
enough sun for the afternoon and you want to go aboard early and take a nap or hit the solarium because no one's there.
All great points. Exactly. So moving along, here's a great aerial view of what the island looks like. This is actually only half of the island. The other half of the island is still not developed. I don't know if we have future plans for that. We probably do, so more to come in the future. The whole concept of Perfect Day at CocoCay is that you make your own perfect day. So you have your thrilling side of the island, which is highlighted in pink, and then you have your more chill side of the island, which is highlighted in blue. And I'm going to go into that in just a little while. I do want to mention that that our island is very accessible. So there are tram services that pick you up right when you get off of the ship that brings you down the pier to the entrance where you see in yellow, it says Perfect Day at CocoCay. And then from there, there's another tram service, complimentary, that will bring you around the island to a variety of different stops that's continuously running. And from there, for those who really need extra assistance, there's complimentary wheelchairs with the big stand wheels all throughout the island as well. So different ways to chill at Perfect Day at CocoCay. As you can see in the left picture, that is a incredible, we call it the Oasis Lagoon. It is the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean. What I personally particularly love about the Oasis Lagoon is in this picture, you can see off to the left-hand side, it's a zero entry. So it's just gradually, you can walk right in. Great for those who have trouble navigating steps, or in my case, when I brought my kids, I just plopped my 18-month-old right on the little entry area, and she just kind of splashed and hung out, and I didn't have to worry about big waves from the ocean or anything like that. And my 3-year-old actually went all the way in. Kind of hard to see, but there are life jackets available all around the pool.
Yes, there are.
Just like the Royal Caribbean standard, we have lifeguards at every pool on our ship as well as on our island.
Great to highlight that. Not every cruise line does that. Royal is very special that they do that.
Yep, safety is of the utmost importance to us. And then once you get into the pool, the entire pool itself is only 3.5 feet, so it's not too deep. Great place to hang out by the swim up bar. So that's kind of towards the back. You can see a little tiki hut. I think I have another picture that better shows it. But as you can see, there are a ton of chairs and umbrellas all around the pool. First come, first serve, complimentary. You don't have to reserve anything ahead of time. And when I say there are tons, there are tons. We had no issues getting chairs and umbrellas, then moving to a different location and coming back and still finding chairs and umbrellas. So, and as I mentioned, it was a New Year's cruise. So we had absolutely no sun base. We were pale as anything. So it was very important for us to have shade, and it was not a problem at all. So we have also different beaches around the island, and we also offer cabanas, not only on the beach, but there are cabanas in different locations. There are cabanas around the Oasis Lagoon pool. There's cabanas in our Thrill Water Park area as well. So here's the swim up bar that I was trying to explain to you earlier. Great place to hang out. During prime time hours, we actually have a DJ playing some music over in that area. And there's also music being played within the water. So if you want to hold your breath and hang out in the water for a little while and rock out, you're more than welcome to. I like the pool, how it's set up with all these different little alcoves. It just really brings the Caribbean style, even more so than a big rectangular pool.
I think it's great too that there's intermittent shade around. Everybody gets to have both. You know, there's so much room and it's so spacious, and because there's those little islands in the middle of the pool, you can have your own little private conversation away from the other people because there's just so much room.
Yes, absolutely. So a couple of different beaches on our island. These are just little snapshots, but there's 3 different beaches. They are pretty spaced out. There's Chill Island, there's Harbor Beach, there's also South Beach. I'm going to go back a couple of slides because I think it's helpful to show on the map here. So all the way to the left, you'll see Chill Island, and that is really just beach. There's not much else going on. There's plenty of chairs and umbrellas. There's also cabanas. But a lot of people tend to snorkel off of Chill Island because the darker area within that water is actually a sunken plane. So that's kind of cool to watch off of there. You can rent snorkel equipment. You can bring it if you please. And there's also different motorized sports that you can rent during your perfect day at CocoCay. Then a little off to the right of Chill Island, you'll see Harbor Beach. And that's just a very calm beach, inner inlet right there. That's actually where I took my girls, seeing that they were so small or, you know, hesitant with the ocean. I didn't want absolutely any waves. Not that there's big waves in the Caribbean here anyway, but Harbor Beach was just very calm. They hung out there. They took a nap on one of the lounge chairs in Harbor Beach. So that was a good place for us. And then I also want to point out top right-hand side, so like caddy corner all the way across the island from Chill Island is South Beach. And South Beach is your much more active beach. And what I mean by that is there's basketball courts, there's volleyball nets, there's the beanbag toss, there's Zumba on the beach, there's yoga on the beach. Kind of hard to see, but there's a little swim up bar out into the water there. So there's a lot going on in South Beach for those younger people who do want to have a little bit more fun on the beach. Otherwise, Chill Island is really just chill. So if there are any adults kind of looking to get away from some of the high energy that children bring, I would recommend going to Chill Island. You'll see all the way up top there, CocoBeach Club with some floating cabanas. You're probably wondering what that's all about. So let me continue my presentation and talk about CocoBeach Club. CocoBeach Club, well, the island officially opened May of 2019. CocoBeach Club was still under renovation, so this officially opened the end of January. So it got a bit of use before, unfortunately, we had to shut everything down. CocoBeach Club is a private beach area. There is an extra charge to get into CocoBeach Club. It is family friendly. 3 and under is complimentary. 4 to 12, there is a children's fee, and then 13 and over, there is an adult fee. And when you pay to get into CocoBeach Club, you have access to the private beach area, which has chairs and umbrellas, this gorgeous infinity pool that overlooks the water there. And then there's also a clubhouse with a private restaurant for CocoBeach Club personnel. So, like I had mentioned, there's so much to do on the island that I don't see many parents paying for their children to go into CocoBeach Club. So a great area for those adults looking to get away and have some little R&R time. So here's another image of what you can see at CocoBeach Club. And there are cabanas available for purchase. There's beach cabanas on CocoBeach Club, and there's also these incredible floating cabanas. The floating, all of our cabanas hold 6 to 8 people. You can purchase these ahead of time through what we call our pre-cruise planner, which Christy is your travel agent, would kind of help guide you into making those purchases or talk to you about what you kind of want to experience on the island. And when you purchase a cabana within Cocoa Beach, whether it's on the beach itself or these floating cabanas, admission into the beach club private VIP area is included in your beach rental. So there's 20 of these floating islands, which are the only floating islands in the Caribbean at this time. So it's almost like a little taste of Tahiti, a little bit closer to home. There's freshwater shower, you have concierge service, there's a slide that brings you right into the water, there's an overwater hammock, there's lounge chairs, there's table and chairs for eating and dining for your concierge or your butler service to bring you food and drink from the clubhouse. There's lockers in there, there's sodas and waters available in your refrigerator. Oh, great, here is a better picture of what you can experience when renting a cabana, which is just an incredible way to enhance your already perfect day.
Yeah.
And then here's a picture of one of our beach cabanas, which there's unobstructed views from your cabana to the ocean right there. So in the clubhouse, you have access to that beautiful infinity pool with the lounge chairs right in the water. That tiki hut is a bar right up there. And then there's, as I mentioned, there's the restaurant excuse me, go way ahead of ourselves. The restaurant, which has a bit of more upscale dining. So think of some of the featured items from our specialty dining restaurants. So caprese salad, steak from Chops, swordfish, lobster, things like that. So that's Cocoa Beach Club. And I'm going to mention it now. I was going to wait to the end, but I'm going to say it. If you have the drink package on the ship, you have the drink package on the island. So that is a huge perk. Excuse me, the island is an extension of the ship.
Right.
So just think of it that way. And there's plenty of bars around the island as well. You know, there's a bar here as well, which I just pointed out, and there's bars in the pool, as I had mentioned previously. But there's also just like random tiki huts and different unique bars. Like one of the bars I saw was a small, like a trailer, almost something that you would see at an NFL football game for someone who's really into tailgating, and they converted the trailer into this like tropical makeshift bar, or almost like a food truck kind of style, but it's a bar. So it is. It's really cool that, you know, there's so many things to talk about and show, but not enough time. You just have to go there and experience it for yourself.
Just gonna have to try it for yourself, right?
The only way to get to this incredible island is on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. You can't fly here. You can't sail with anyone else and come here. You have to sail on Royal Caribbean to experience it. So now I'm going to talk about the thrilling part of our island, which would include our water park, the zip line experience, and up and away balloon. So I'm going to talk about Thrill Water Park in just a moment. The zip line experience, as you can see, 2 people can go at the same time. It's 1,600 feet that goes across the water park and ends over Harbor Beach. So that's a fun and cool experience. The up and away balloon, as you can see off to the right-hand side, is a tethered hot air balloon. It is handicap accessible. Up to 30 people can go at one time. And you just rise 450 feet up into the air, taking all the views. That really surreal kind of experience. I did it myself. You know, 450 feet, it sounds really high. And then when you're up there, it sounds even higher because it's just like, whoa, pretty high. But it's really cool. It's very thrilling. You can purchase this ahead of time, as I had mentioned, through the pre-cruise planner. And it just reminded me, I wanted to mention that our Oasis Lagoon pool is also handicap accessible. We have the chairs that bring you right into the water for those who need it. So the Thrill Water Park. Thrill Water Park is absolutely incredible. It includes, and again, I'm going to run back to this map. I apologize. I should just have this split screen option where I can just always show you the map. I'll look into that. But Thrill Water Park, as you can see, is off to the right-hand side over here. So it includes 4 things. You pay entry into Thrill Water Park because it is kind of gated off. You have Daredevil's Tower, which is individual water slides. So you go down by yourself, and there's all different water slides. There's ones where you walk up 3 flights and go down the yellow one. You can walk up 6 flights of stairs and go down the green Mamba. You can walk all the way up and go down Daredevil's Peak, which is that red one that goes around and around and around. All the water slides are so much fun. I know Christy said she's not a big water person. But I'm telling you, they are a blast. You will definitely get your workout for the day walking up and down those steps. I'll tell you that. So there's 13 different water slides in the Daredevil's Tower, and then there are 7 different water slides in the Splash Summit area, which you can see is highlighted by one of the larger ones in yellow. That's called the Slingshot. I'll show you a picture of that later. So all of the water slides in the Splash Summit area are what I like to call friends and family, because it would hold 2 to 4 people, depending on which slide. All those water slides are in a tube. So there would be 2 people going in a raft together, or up to 4 people in a tube going down together. And then the other 2 things that you have access to is our adventure pool, which is like an obstacle course pool. and then the wave pool, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. Again, with the wave pool, lifeguards are always on hand, as there are lifeguards with the adventure pool and the water slides, and there's also life vests available for the younger ones going into the wave pool. So now, let me move along and talk about
a variety that, you know, if you're not like me, you might not quite be up to the big scary thing, but there are different ones that you can do tandem with a friend or your kids or whatever. I mean, there really is a nice variety so that you can really take advantage of all the different things that are there that are your speed. That's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see a couple of images here. The top center is the adventure pool, which I said is sort of that obstacle course kind of pool. Here, this girl is flying over the lily pads, doing really well. It almost reminds me of that show, American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
The different ropes you have to pull yourself across, or the lily pads you have to run across. And honestly, it's really good just spectating this area, because you see these big macho guys that think they're just going to fly across successfully. No, it does not happen. They more often than not, no, they wipe out. It's usually the younger kids who are just lighter and just throw themselves across that actually do pretty well. So if you go into this area, just walk by Adventure Pool and get some laughs for the day.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And then you'll see some of the water slides featured here. Bottom right, the slingshot. Oh my goodness, it is so much fun. This water slide shoots you out into this ramp here, which you go up and then come back down. And you're with, you know, a group of friends, so it always makes it a little bit more exciting. I want to talk about just a couple of, we call them kids thrills. So these are two complimentary water fun for kids, I'd say probably like 12 and under. Up top, those three pictures are featuring our Splashaway Bay area, which you can see is this huge splash pad area with fountains that come up, big buckets that fill up and dump out everywhere. There's mini water slides as well. So this is right towards the beginning of Perfect Day at CocoCay when you get onto the island. And it's, you know, it's great for the younger ones who are maybe not ready to go into the water park, but still seeking some thrills. And then the bottom, which is actually where my two little ones really enjoyed a lot of their time, Captain Jill's Galleon. It's complimentary, huge pirate ship water playground. There are some water slides. But what my girls love the most are these water cannons.
The cannons, of course.
Oh my goodness, they stood there for so long just aiming at nothing, but thinking it was the most exciting thing they have ever done. So lots of fun for kids. As I had mentioned, complimentary, right? So it's super easy just to walk around the park, but you have these other activities as well that you don't really have to pay extra for. And speaking of walking, I do want to mention, you know, as I had said, there is a tram service, and then when I show you on the map, there's so much going on that you might think, wow, it is a big island. There's a lot to do. And while yes, that's true, I'll also say that it's very manageable to walk around. So it was me and my husband. I brought our double stroller, all of our stuff. And while, yes, perhaps it would have been easier to get on the tram, that's just not what we decided to do. It's very easy to walk around. There are a lot of paths that make it easy as well. And just to put in perspective, from the entrance to these Kids Thrills area is probably a 2-minute walk. From the entrance to Thrill Water Park, it's a 4-minute walk. And from the entrance to the furthest part of the island, which would be South Beach, is about a 12-minute walk.
Oh, that's so doable. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you have the option of going on the tram, or you can walk from, you know, activity to activity. So you might be thinking, wow, there's a lot going on, and you experience all that in the morning, and now it's time for lunch. So what are you going to do? You are not going back to the ship. Absolutely not. There's just too much to do. So we have complimentary restaurants, Skipper's Grill and Chill Grill, which, as you can see pictured here, the under the hut is all of the food. So think Windjammer style, which is our huge buffet on all of our ships. So from sandwiches to burgers to taco bar to salads, tons of different options within both Skipper's Grill and Chill Grill with indoor seating and outdoor seating. Captain Jack's is a sort of like a lounge restaurant. There's always live Caribbean music being played on stage. So it is a place where people kind of typically hang out. And we do offer some small eats at Captain Jack's, such as sliders or chicken wings. And it has a pretty nice bar as well. So in addition to the complimentary Skipper's Grill and Chill Grill, we have complimentary snack shacks. I believe there's 4 of them throughout the islands in different locations, which has many options of food as well. Even though it's called a snack shack, I mean, I've been to Perfect Day CocoCay twice, once with my family and once with the sales team. So I was, by myself essentially as an adult, which is when I went on all the weather sides. And both times we just ate at the snack shack for lunch because you have your option of grilled chicken sandwich. I had Greek salad. I had cheese fries. I had a funnel cake, mozzarella sticks, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken fingers, and French fries. This is all at the snack shack. So
that's your day at the beach kind of food. It's perfect.
Yeah, it was great. And being where they're located, even if you have the fleeting thought that you're hungry, I guarantee there's either a grill or a snack shack within a 1-minute walking distance. So you can eat the day away, you can drink the day away, you can slide the day away. It's your perfect day. You make it what you want. So that's my big spiel on Perfect Day at CocoCay. I was telling Christy, I'm like, I might have to talk a little fast because there's just so much to talk about and we only have a certain amount of time, and I'm so excited about it because it's such an incredible destination that I really wanted to try and maximize our time, and I cannot wait to get back to Perfect Day at CocoCay, which once we do resume sailing again will be a primary destination. It's such a controlled environment for Royal Caribbean that we can really focus on safety and not jeopardize any of our passenger safety by having, other ships with, I don't know what their safety standards are, mixing with personnel and passengers from our ship. It's all Royal Caribbean right here at Perfect Day CocoCay.
I don't know how you managed to squeeze it all in. And that was only like a blink of how many things that were really there. I mean,
I
one
know.
of the,
It's a lot. A lot to talk about.
The ship and the Perfect Day, those are like the reasons you take this trip. They're so chock full of things to do or not do. Like you said, there's places to relax and chill out, whether you're on board and you're going to the solarium or doing things that are a little low key on the ship or finding that quiet area of beach on CocoCay. But the itinerary also stops in Port Canaveral in Florida, which is about an hour from kind of your big park stuff that's in Orlando. And Royal Caribbean has a great partnership with Universal. So if you're interested in spending a day at Universal, maybe eating Harry Potter or making sure your kids who love the Minions got to go see the Minions, there's an excursion that you can take that includes your transportation to get you to the parks, the admission to the parks and back. That's a really great opportunity to squeeze in a slice of, Central Florida's what fun they've got to do while you're in on a cruise. This is the perfect family vacation. It really is. There's so many things that appeal to so many people. So it's great for multi-generational travel. So it's grandma and grandpa all the way down to the little grandkids. Or like family reunion groups where, the cousins are all coming, or even just you and your own little family or your own little group of friends. It's fun for everyone and it's got something for everyone. I mean, I loved hitting the Cuban nightclub on board. That was great for a couple of mojitos at night.
Bolero.
Yes, right? Bolero's a nice little escape for me. There's so many great things, and there were so many things we didn't even talk about. So if you're interested in cruising with Royal Caribbean, whether it's on this ship or any of the others, this itinerary or any of the others, please contact me. Honestly, there's so many things Royal Caribbean has to offer. I'd be delighted to share that information with you. If you are interested in booking a cruise, we're not selling cruises tonight. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. But if you are interested in booking a cruise between now and September 30th of this year for 2021 or 2022, and you book through this agency, we're going to toss in some onboard credit depending on the cabin you choose, and there's just a little added bonus incentive, you know, to get you on board and get you buying a couple of cocktails, that kind of thing, or maybe going to Jamie's Italian for dinner one night. On the next slide, you'll see all my contact information. You can follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn and Instagram, Facebook, of course. And by all means, you know, sign up for my newsletter. And while you're signing up for the newsletter, we'll automatically enter you in our quarterly contest. This quarterly contest happens to be with another cruise line, but it is a great way to get your feet wet, so to speak. And if you have ideas about any kind of vacation, just to brainstorm ideas about where your next dream vacation takes you, by all means, reach out to me. I'd be happy to give you ideas, advice, and even talk to you a bit about what it will be like traveling when we kind of get the green light again, to get moving, to go and see the places we want to see. Royce, were there any questions in our chat pod that we haven't already covered?
Yeah, so if anyone has questions, I'm going to start reading them. You can start entering them here. You know, Christy brought up Universal. I'll also mention that not only do we have that day experience when we dock there with the complimentary transportation to either Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, you choose which park. We also have, seeing that we have such a strong partnership with Universal, we have a pre or post package that you can tack on to your cruise if you cruise out of Orlando. So we have different cruise ships. I think there's 4 out of Orlando. So you can do a 2-night, a 3-night, a 4-night, a 7-night pre or post to your cruise in Universal. I think you have your choice of 4 different hotels. You know, Christy can get into that with you if you are interested. But that's a really cool experience for those who want to do both the land and the sea, to tack it all in one time. And just so all of you are aware, Royal Caribbean, we have 26 ships in our fleet. So we are all over the place, from Alaska to the Caribbean to Canada, New England, Europe, Australia, China. I like to talk. I have so many things to talk about, but I will be quiet now and answer some questions. And wherever you choose to go, you know, Christy can help guide you on what would be the best fit. So, okay. So Catherine wanted everyone to know that even at 72 years of age, she was able to do the iFly, and it was great fun, and she would never jump out of an airplane, but this was her way of getting that thrill. You go, Catherine.
Good for you.
Wonderful. Good for you, for sure.
Young at heart, that is it.
Mm-hmm. So it's clearly fun, whether you're 3 or 72.
That's right.
You get your thrill. Okay. Somebody asked, can you go to Walt Disney? So when we dock in, sorry, did you want to take this one?
Yeah, you can. It's a short day, so it does take some planning on our part, so I could talk to you about that. Disney tends to get overwhelming for some people, so if you can be strategic about it, absolutely. It's a great day to spend a day at SeaWorld or any one of the Disney parks. It just takes some pre-planning and advanced thinking on your part so that you kind of narrow your scope a little bit, but totally doable.
And it really doesn't take that much thinking on your part. It's Christy's job to do that for you. Okay. How easy is it to go to New Jersey for boarding from New York? So.
Oh, it's super
Christy,
easy.
You can answer that.
There's a couple of ways you can do it. If you drove, if you were in a position to drive, it's so easy to get to, and there's a great big parking garage there. It's so inexpensive. It's maybe a third the price of taking a cruise from the Manhattan side for parking. It's much less expensive, and you can do it a couple of different ways. You can train there. You can obviously Uber for most places, and you can drive there. But it's super easy to get to, and it's a really, really nice terminal. It feels brand spanking new compared to others, but it's really nice. And like I said, the parking makes it super easy. It's a very hassle-free environment.
Yeah, and that parking garage is literally, you walk out of the parking garage, you turn left, and you walk, I mean, I can't, 3 minutes, and you're walking into the terminal building. So it's not like you have to then board another bus or something to get to the terminal.
Right.
So
it's easy peasy.
Yep. And she was just clarifying that she wouldn't be driving. So,
okay.
You know, there are other options such as train or bus, but it is very convenient location, which is, you know, why we're in Bayonne versus Manhattan Terminal, because we find Bayonne much easier and much more affordable.
It is much more affordable. But yeah, you can do it, but you can do it a couple of different ways. There's the PATH train can get you to Secaucus Junction and then take it from there. And then there's another way from like the north end of Manhattan up that way. There's another train option from that direction too. So there are more than one way to take care of that for you.
Good. So we have come to the 8 o'clock hour, and
how do we do
that? We want to profusely thank everyone for joining this evening.
Very much. Very much. I want to thank you guys for participating, asking questions, and taking the time out of your day to get a little inspiration for maybe your next dream vacation. Thank you again, Marissa, so much for your help tonight. It was really great.
Absolutely. It was a fun evening. All right, everyone, take care.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Bye.